The crisis of leadership grows as our world wrestles with change, fast, fierce, formidable change. Every institution, business, government, school, and the church must learn to be agile, navigating effectively in our ever-changing world. A revolution is taking place, likely to be as profound as any in history. John Doerr has been operating at the vortex of change in the high-tech industry, and he provides us with strategic thinking on how to manage change effectively. In his book, Measure What Matters, How Google, Bono, and the Gates Foundation Rocked the World with OKRs is a strategic advantage for anyone in this changing world. The book focuses on these OKRs. OKR is shorthand for objectives and key results. The O stands for those objectives, which are the what that you plan to accomplish. The KR stands for the key results, which are the how you are going to accomplish those objectives. The OKR process is a collaborative, goal-setting protocol for companies, teams, and individuals because, quote, a goal without a plan is just a wish, unquote, whether you are a corporation or a company of one. John Doerr meticulously provides a roadmap for gaining alignment so that everyone can be pointed in the same direction, no matter how large or small the organization, or how complicated. Doerr highlights the role of OKRs in the success of countless tech companies from Intel to Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and even Bono. Ideas are easy, execution is everything. It all starts with the objectives, knowing where you want to go. As Yogi Berra commented, if you don't know where you're going, you might wind up someplace else. Jim Collins, author of Good to Great, comments, this book, quote, deserves to be fully embraced by every person responsible for performance in any walk of life. Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook COO and founder of leanin.org, writes, Measure What Matters shows how any organization or team can aim high, move fast, and excel. Year after year, Gallup surveys attest to a worldwide employee engagement crisis. Less than a third of U.S. workers are involved in, enthusiastic about, and committed to their work in the workplace. A 2-year Doolittle study found that no single factor has more impact than, quote, clearly defined goals that are written down and shared freely. Goals create alignment, clarity, and job satisfaction. The 4 OKR superpowers are 1. Focus on 3 objectives. Align the team members to move in the same direction. Track, measure progress for accountability. Stretch, set 10 times goals and creatively strategize to do it in half the time. 50% of the objectives come from the bottom up, from those who are on the front lines of the battle. Steve Jobs expressed it this way: we don't hire smart people to tell them what to do. We hire smart people so that they can tell us what to do. KR's key results should be succinct, specific, and measurable. Completion of all key results must result in the attainment of the common objective. Marissa Meyer states, it's not a key result unless it has a number. So objectives should be ambitious, qualitative, time-bound, actionable by the team, while key results should be measurable and quantifiable. Make the objective achievable. Lead to objective grading. Difficult, but not impossible. Besides goal tracking, here are the reasons why OKRs work. 1, they align people around a common set of goals. 2, they engage people because they understand how their work relates to that of the company. They focus people, letting them determine a handful of measurable ways they can contribute. And then they give everyone visibility into everyone else's goals, increasing teamwork and accountability. Mark Twain, the futurist, wrote, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the things you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. So how can Christ followers benefit from OKRs? First of all, Christians should be the biggest dreamers, with God-sized goals that can only be accomplished if God is involved. This requires faith to believe the impossible. Because Christians are involved in building the kingdom of God now, we are instructed to make the most of every opportunity. Why? Because the days are evil. In setting personal goals, it starts by determining what matters most. Number one, are you in tune with the Spirit of God? Are you listening for His promptings? Number two, are you empowered by the Spirit, or only thinking of what you can do in your power? Number three, are you humbly seeking to honor God first? Paul the Apostle had the right attitude when he wrote in 1 Corinthians 15:10 in the Message translation, "But because God was so gracious, so very generous, here I am. And I'm not about to let His grace go to waste. Haven't I worked hard trying to do more than any of the others? Even then, my work didn't amount to all that much. It was God giving me the work to do, God giving me the energy to do it." Paul knew what it means to press on toward the high calling of God. Sparky Anderson, retired baseball manager, commented, "I've got my faults, but living in the past isn't one of them. There ain't no future in it." I think that's well said. In one California study, people who recorded their goals and set weekly progress reports to a friend attained 43% more of their objectives than those who merely thought about goals without sharing them. The point of objectives and key results, after all, is to get everyone working on the right things. Let's talk about how to set goals. Number one, set God-sized goals that require dependence upon God. Number two, goals should reflect your values for work-life balance, your entire life. Number three, set SMART goals: specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, time-bound. Specific means focus. Less is more. As Steve Jobs understood, innovation means saying no to 1,000 things. Focus on everything and you focus on nothing. Be measurable. This is tracking results for accountability. Daniel Peek, the author of Drive, said the single greatest motivator is, quote, making progress in one's work. The days that people make progress are the days they feel most motivated and engaged. See, actionable. John Doerr's mantra is, ideas are easy. Execution is everything. So execution is at the heart of OKRs. D, risky, reasonable risk, an element of faith. Jack Welch comments, by reaching for what appears to be impossible, we often actually do the impossible. And even when we don't quite make it, we inevitably wind up doing much more than we would have done. Goal theorist Edwin A. Locke and Gary P. Latham report looking at the results of almost 400 studies. They concluded the performance of participants with the highest goals was over 250% higher than those with the easiest goals. We rise to a challenge, but we lay back when it's easy. The final element of SMART goals is being timely. People habitually underestimate how long it takes to get things done. So the key is reasonable timeliness in setting goals. We all do better with deadlines. So what is the ultimate impact on organizations when they practice these OKRs? Alignment is the benefit of SMART goals. Aaron Levy, founder and CEO of Box, at any given time, Aaron said, some significant percentage of people are working on the wrong things. The challenge is knowing which ones. Alignment is rare in most organizations. Studies suggest that only 7% of employees, quote, fully understand their company's business strategies and what's expected of them in order to help achieve the common goals, unquote. A lack of alignment, according to a poll of global CEOs, is the number one obstacle between strategy and execution. So what have we learned about implementing OKRs? Number one, list 3 objectives you want to strive for on each level. For each objective, list 3 or 4 key results to be achieved. 3, communicate objectives and key results to everyone. Everyone needs to know them. Number 4, people regularly update each result on a 0 to 100% scale. Number 5, when objectives results reach 70 to 80%, consider it done. Review OKRs regularly and then set new ones. So the flow of objectives leading to key results looks as follows. Overall company objectives get established, 1, 2, 3 objectives, and underneath those are 3 to 4 key results to get those objectives accomplished. So what is the recurring cycle of OKRs? It looks like this. Number one, there's a common understanding of the overall mission of the organization. That leads to uniform definition of objectives that the organization needs to take on, and then uniform definition of key results. How are we going to accomplish those objectives? Then execution. You got to get on with getting the job done, and then after you get the job done, then you take some time to reflect and have some retrospective learning so that you can figure out how to do it even faster and better the next time. And then the whole cycle begins again. So what are the best practices for OCRs? As we've said so far, 3 objectives at any time, 3 key results per objective, and then set those quarterly. And then as you set those quarterly, you need to review everything monthly or even weekly with your team. Make it public and online in front of all peers. And the sweet spot for achieving the percent of the results is 70%. Examples of some ministry goals: prepare the summer camp programming schedule by May 1st, to gather 80% of the small group leaders for the Leadership Equipping Seminar on June 1st, to recruit 20 adults for the leadership team to run the Super Summer Sports Spectacular program by April 1st, recruit and equip the First Impressions team to handle the parking ministry starting July 1st. Commit your ministry goals to writing by clarifying 2 or 3 objectives, with 2 or 3 key results under each objective. Then share these dreams transparently with your team, setting deadlines and actionable goals as a team. Then go for it to the glory of God. Be sure to subscribe to this video so that you don't miss future inspirational content. Check out our website at legacycoaches.org. God's best to you. Hope to see you here, there, or in the air. Bye for now.